This video is about graphing inequalities. So inequalities have 4 different signs in place of an equal sign. So the first one is an arrow that points to the left. This is called our less than sign. The second is an arrow that points to the right. This is called a greater than sign. Then we have the same signs with a bar underneath it. The bar underneath it means that it's a less than or equal to. And then the other one with the bar underneath it would be a greater than or equal to. So we can use these signs to graph an inequality on the number line. So when we graph an inequality, one variable is set to the 2 points on a number line that represent all the solutions of an inequality. So there's 2 things you have to remember when you are graphing. If you have a less than or a greater than sign, so the signs without a bar underneath it, you're going to use an open circle on the number line. If you have an inequality sign with the bar underneath it for a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to, you will have a closed circle on the number line. Anytime there's a less than or equal to sign, we're going to shade our line to the left. Anytime it's a greater than or equal to, we're going to shade to the right. So when we are graphing an inequality, the thing that's important to remember is that your variable must be first. So in number 1, we have g is greater than -5, which means our variable is first. So we're going to place -5 on the number line. Because it's a greater than sign and there's no bar underneath it, it gets an open circle. And then our sign is pointing with the tip towards the right, so we are going to shade to the right. Number 2, -12 is greater than h. First, we need our variable to show on the left side. So we're going to flip this entire inequality. So we're going to flip the spot of the h and the -12 and flip the direction of the sign. So we now have h is less than -12. So at -12 on the number line, we should have an open circle, and we should be shading to the left. Number 3, 7 is less than or equal to y. So again, we need to get our variable first, so y and 7 are going to switch spots, and we're going to flip the direction of our inequality sign. So this time at 7, because there's a bar underneath it, it's going to be a closed circle. We're still going to shade to the right because we are pointing in the right direction. Number 4 then is x is less than or equal to 1. So we're going to put 1 on our number line with a closed circle, and we are going to shade to the left because this time our inequality has the tip pointing towards the left side. Now let's work backwards. You're given a graph and you need to write the inequality for it. So in number 5, we're going to pick a variable. So I'm going to pick x, and my number is 15. Then I look at my inequality graph, and I notice that it's pointing to the right, which means it's a greater than sign. And I notice that my circle is filled, which means I need to put a bar underneath it. So then my inequality would be x is greater than or equal to 15. Number 6, I'm going to pick a variable and put my -8 again. When I look at this inequality, it's shaded to the left, so I need a less than sign. And my circle is closed, so I need a bar underneath. In number 7, we're going to pick a variable x. Our number is 0. This time, it's shaded to the left again, so we need a less than sign. But the circle is open, so that means we do not place a bar underneath it. So we would just have x is less than 0. Our last one, we have the shading to the right. So it's going to be a greater than sign. Again, our circle is open, so there's no bar underneath it. So we would have x is greater than -9.